Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it comes from a message that I received through Facebook. I want to thank all of you who always comment on our videos. The message, it reads like this. Hello, Brother Nashi, how are you? Can you please post my story as Anon? I'm a South African woman. I just created a ghost account lol for the first time in my life. I really do not like to use ghost accounts, but I don't want anything to be linked back to me directly because I don't know what people will say about me, and I don't want my pictures to end up being exposed all over social media. People saying that this one, she is a witch, because even though I am a witch, but there are a couple of things that I can't do, like to bewitch someone through social media. We once created such a group where we were trying to bewitch this certain politician. I can't tell you the name of that politician, but there was something that we wanted to do to that politician. We used pictures, but we could not access that politician in the spiritual realm. We had our own reasons as witches to bewitch that particular individual. So I am a witch, Brother Nashi. My dad was from Blawayo and his mother was a witch. My dad came to South Africa a very long time ago. He came and he started working in the mine and he was staying in the hostel. My father had a child with another woman and they fought. My mom, she was working as a nurse. My dad, when he fought with woman's boyfriend after he had caught her red-handed in bed with another man, he was stabbed, and that is how they ended up meeting with my mom when my father was admitted in hospital. As for my mom, she grew up in Soweto, but home is in KZN. That is where her entire relatives are. But most of them, they are now working here in Johannesburg, but they do come from KZN. So they met in hospital, they started to talk and they got to know each other and things happened. And after my dad was okay, they kept on dating, and then that was when my mom fell pregnant and I was born, and they got married to each other. So that is how my father and my mom got to be together. My grandmother, she used to come to South Africa physically as well as spiritually. My grandmother, she started feeding me with charms in my sleep since I was a toddler. From the moment that I started to walk as a toddler, my grandmother, she would fly in the middle of the night and she would come and she would feed me good food. I would have a dream eating rice, eating chicken, cake, beetroot that she would have brought for me from Zim, and this was him initiating me into witchcraft. The earliest that I still remember about all of this was when I was 6 years old. I had a particular dream that I had. I was taken by my grandmother and we went to this other cemetery here in Joburg where we met other witches, and then they had a meeting about me and I was accepted as a witch in Soweto because my bloodline, even though my mom is South African, but my bloodline, I am from Zim, so there is a particular order that you have to follow. If you are of a bloodline that is from another tribe, like my tribe, my father's tribe, it traces back to the Shona people, even though they were staying in Blawayo. So they trace their roots back to the Shona tribe. So in order for the Zulu tribe to connect with me and for them to accept me, I'm speaking about the women, some of them that are witches here in Soweto. Most of them that accepted me, they have since passed away because they were already old at that time. So there was an initiation ceremony that was supposed to be done so that I can be joined to the Zulu witches, those that were witches in the area where we were staying. So that dream, I still remember it to this very day. But I had this dream when I was 6 years. My grandmother, she flew from Zim. My grandmother, she used to fly on a sweeping broom, that one that is made out of grass, and she would fly from Lawayo. She would come to Soweto, and then we would go to the graveyard for the initiation. This dream, it happened over a month. Each and every day I was being initiated into the Zulu tribe so that I can work with them. My grandmother also had a snake that she left for me. It is a python. This snake, it is like a bus. At night, it can change even into a sort of a vehicle that you can use to move from one country to another. We call it our private jet. So my grandmother, after she had seen that the other witches, they had accepted me into their club, and she told me to never tell anyone about the dreams that I was having. Soon after that, my grandmother, she passed away because she was really old, and I did not know really that I was now a witch, because I just thought that maybe there were strange nightmares. But what used to surprise me was that when I will have a dream, me being in a meeting, being initiated by some women that I knew very well that also stayed in Soweto, the next morning when I would wake up, if I would pass through the house of the woman that I would have seen in my dreams, accompanying him to the graveyard, she would be so friendly with me. She would give me money so that I can buy something at lunch when I am at school. Later on, I realized that I was a witch, and I would always go to the graveyard with these witches. And the dreams that I now had was me eating human flesh, opening graves, and it was always good food that I would have in my dreams that I will be eating. When I was 15, I was accused of witchcraft by our neighbor's tenant. So our neighbor's tenant, it came from KZN. He used to go to this church that is called Shembe Church, him and his family. So when that neighbor of ours got this tenant, I knew that it was trouble, because when I would wake up, I would meet him at the gate and I would run back indoors, and by then I'll be completely naked. His daughter as well, she had a gift of having real dreams, and she saw me in my dreams. This girl, we were in the same class, and then we spoke about him, because witches, they do have meetings at night, even during the day. They can discuss about their enemies. We then said, since this man, he is giving us a lot of problems, we can't operate freely like we used to. What can we do? So since this girl, she was in our class, I had to fight with him. I then fought with that girl. This happened when we were about to write our matric exam. It was an English literacy exam, and we fought over a boy because I started seducing a new boyfriend, and she found out about it. I was just looking for trouble. And before that, my grandmother, she had already told me the history of our family, that our bloodline, even her bloodline and my father's bloodline, we are witches. And she taught me that the spirit of witchcraft, it is a daughter to the principality, or you Christians call it the demon of poverty. So we cannot be rich, and we must curse other people to never succeed in life. That is why a lot of people do not understand why will a witch know a lot of magic, but they don't use that magic to go to the bank to steal money at night. It is because the spirit that we worship, that you people call a demon, it is the principality that govern over those that are poor. So we are like the servants of the spirit of poverty. We do not wish to be successful in life. I was supposed to fail matric to celebrate poverty, because it is a gift to be poor as a witch, and it is a gift to curse others with poverty as well. I am also going to give this legacy to my daughters as well, because we believe that we are rich in spirit. Like I told you before, that my grandmother left a snake for me. This snake, we can use it as a form of transport to go wherever we want to go to. We can make it to look like a private jet. I can make it to look like any car that I want, but this we only do at night. These are some of the things that I was taught by my grandmother. The history of our family, it is quite long, and there are other secrets that I can't share with you. So we had a club of 6 here in Soweto. We are witches, and we have eaten 11 people that died here in Soweto. 5 of them, we caused them to die. The others, it was due to natural death. So this is how we eat dead people. It is also related to the story that I told you about the girl that I created drama for by dating a boyfriend so that she can fight with me, so that I can be able to accuse her, to kill her. This was my first victim. So the first stage, as I was taught by my grandmother and other witches, is that you have an argument with a person that you want to bewitch, that you want to eat their blood, and after that, then you go before God, then you claim that this person has wronged me and I need revenge. Like in that situation, she came and she insulted me and I kept quiet. This made her to be so mad at me, and she said, "You are stealing my boyfriend, and now you do not want to talk to me." So I remained quiet because I wanted her to be the first one to slap me so that I can accuse him before the Creator that she is the one that came and beat me up and I was defenseless. She did fell into the trap that we had set for him, because she wanted to please the eyes of the people that were there, because they were shouting, "Beat her up, beat her up. She is a prostitute. She has stolen your boyfriend." She started beating me, and I did not even defend myself. Later in the evening, we sat down at the shrine. We sat at this other woman's home. She has since passed away. That old lady, she was from Malawi, married to a South African man. And then in that meeting that we had, we then made a claim before God. Yes, that same God that you Christians pray to, he is also our God, but we do worship him in a different way. And we went and we claimed that I was supposed to get my revenge. I needed revenge for the girl who had beaten me up. Since I am not a true Christian, we do not believe in God's judgment, because we believe that God is slow to react and in passing judgment. So we then went to our own God after we had claimed this girl before God. That is how the spiritual realm works. We then created a covenant. It is called a covenant of revenge. And every covenant that is created either by God or by what you call the devil or any other spirit, by a traditional healer, it requires blood. The sacrifice in this case, it was that girl that had fought with me. So then we started to collect refuse from their dustbin. The other ladies that were also involved in this, they would go to her house to pretend as if they were visiting her mother. And when they were walking out, then they would take refuse from the dustbin, soil from the yard, and this was what we used to gain access into her house. We then started cooking food. So this food, for it to be poisonous, we would cook it early in the morning before the sun would have risen up. Then we would go to the cemetery, any cemetery, point at any grave. Then we would put the pot with the food on top of the grave and say whatever that we wanted, the type of disease that we wanted that girl to start suffering from. And then we would leave the pot on top of the grave for a couple of minutes. collecting the soul of that person that was buried inside that grave. Then we would take it and return with it back home. Throughout the day, we would leave that pot in a tree or on top of a roof, but we would cover it with something so that people won't see that there is a pot on top of someone's roof. Late at night, we would wake up, walk towards that house in a single line. All of us, we would be naked and no one would see us because this will be happening in the spiritual realm. But to me, it's like it will be happening like in the real world. When we would have arrived at your house, because we would have taken some soil from your house, this will make the door to your house to open up, or we would go through the window and we would start to feed that girl. She would have dreams about eating rice, beetroot, nice food that she loved. And when she would wake up, she would feel that her stomach is full. She then started to get ill because this food was what was causing all of the illness. That girl passed away. She had cancer in her stomach. After she had died and she had been buried, we then went to her grave. We woke her up because when you have been bewitched, when you die because of witchcraft, you do not die completely, but it's like we put you into deep sleep. Everyone will think that you are dead. These are the things of the spirit, and it is hard for you to understand, but you will be sleeping. You are unable to even tell your relatives that I am not yet dead, I am still alive. Then we return to your grave and we hit your grave with a reed stick so that the grave can open up and your coffin will appear on top of your grave, and the coffin will be open and we will call your name so that you can come out of your coffin, and then we kill you. This is the second death and you die for real. We will slice your throat and we will start to drink up your blood, and then we will start to cut your flesh, dividing it amongst ourselves. All the creatures that we use, like in my case, I do have a snake and a tokoloshi. Then I give them the flesh so that they can eat and rejoice whilst we are drinking the blood. So this ceremony, it is done at the cemetery. We have been doing this for a long time. The other women that initiated me into their club here in Soweto, they were already old at that time. They have since passed away. Their daughters are the ones that I am now operating with. There is no country, there is no place without a witch. That is why I had to go through that initiation process, because the type of witchcraft that has been done in my bloodline and the type of witchcraft that is done here, they are two different type of witchcraft. This is my confession. Your dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by a follower there who is saying that they even have a group where they teach how to bewitch other people, because they have a wish that every woman is supposed to be a witch, to practice witchcraft. She's saying that she does not care about material things, having money. She is satisfied with the little that she had, but she hates to see progress. She was even laughing and saying that the wise, once they have money, they move from the location and go to another place to build where no one really knows their background. Because when you start to get money and you start to uplift yourself in the same neighborhood where you grew up staying, people knowing that you used to be poor, those that are like him, they will make sure that you become poor again. Is this true? You can come to my inbox and share with me your own side of the story.